Hey, Jon from TechCrunch here. I'm with Caren from Nestio. So
Nestio.
Caren, we've had a really great chat about what you've been doing. You guys raised $8 million in funding very recently. So I guess people think if you're running a company in tech and you raise money, then you're basically done, right? I mean, you've made it, you've raised a ton of money.
You've made it, that's it.
What
it's
do you
over, right?
So you raised your round in December, right? What have you been doing since then?
I feel like, to your point, right? You raise money.
You made it, right?
That's it. You've made it. I think in my mind, I earned the right to still be alive, right? It was like at our first board meeting with our lead investor, he congratulated me on surviving infinite mortality, right? And
congratulations, yeah.
And now it's like, okay, well, let's deliver on the vision and everything we said. So a big part of where I'm spending my time now is hiring, growing the team, building the right team so we can actually enable this thing to scale and create repeatable sort of process that will enable the machine to not break, right? Because what works for 10 or 15 people certainly won't work for the 50 or 60 that we want to be later this year. So it's all about really process and people for me right now.
Okay. I feel like most people here probably know what you guys do. Yes. You've got a pretty good story about how you kind of came about doing what you're doing now. Maybe you can just kind of share that with us.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it definitely took us some time to get where we are today. I mean, I was telling you, the company in its current iteration is 2.5 years old, but we've been at this for 5 years trying to figure it out. So we got our start 5 years ago. We were part of the first New York class or cohort of Techstars. And we initially started as something very different. So we were much more consumer facing. My co-founder and I were both frustrated apartment renters and wanted to solve the sexy problem, the consumer facing problem of why does it suck to find that new apartment. We wanted to make it better.
Yeah.
We initially started off by launching, it was basically a tool for renters to click properties across different websites and ultimately make a more informed decision on where to live. What we learned was that the listings on these websites were often inaccurate, stale, or rented weeks ago. So in really understanding the industry, we spent a lot of time really digging in deep to find out what professionals, landlords, property managers were actually using to communicate with these third-party websites, but even really manage things internally.
Yeah.
And we found that, and I told you this, real estate is sort of the land that technology forgot, or really they forgot technology.
Yeah.
They were still on spreadsheets and fax machines by the time we got to them.
Wow.
My co-founder and I saw a huge opportunity to provide, a B2B solution for these folks to enable them to manage their inventory and communicate more effectively, ultimately to make more money and save time and hopefully help the rest of the industry to communicate real estate availabilities and listings in real time.
Yeah.
So we pivoted the company 2.5 years ago, and thank God we did.
And today, so today your market share of New York is what, about 40 or 50%?
It's about, yes, so about 40% of all of New York City
almost
rental
half,
listings
right?
originate,
almost half,
right, originate on our platform, and we then communicate those listings to the folks who need to know about them.
Okay, and so obviously, like as you're starting off as a very new company in this space, you can kind of do different things to what you're doing now, because I feel like you've got the kind of market share where you as a business you've obviously grown up in the last 2.5 years. How do the challenges change from being a very sort of early company to one that's gaining steam and becoming big?
Well, so I mean, the way that I think about it is I feel like we were trying to survive, right, from all the various things that could kill us, right, when you're that young. And I mean, to your point earlier, it's not success to go out and raise a Series A. You earn the right to continue doing what you're doing and hopefully grow and build a big business. So a lot of what I'm doing now is trying to create process because, like I said, we were 3 people, then we were 10 people, we were 15 people towards the end of the year, and now we're just about 40. So
wow.
We've grown substantially over the past 5 months. And it's really hiring the right types of folks and the right types of people who will enable us to grow and be where we want to be, but also like make sure that we maintain. I'd say we have pretty awesome culture. Being able to maintain that and grow that as we scale is important, and create like infrastructure and just process so that the machine doesn't break, right?
So I guess part of that is about making it a blueprint so you can expand, right? What are your plans? I mean, now that obviously you're doing pretty good here. Are you looking to go out to other cities?
Without
and
a
other parts
doubt,
of the US?
without a doubt, which was really the catalyst for raising our Series A when we did. We were always pretty scrappy, raised, a seed round, we'd raised under $3 million before we raised our A. We were able to do a lot with a little. So now that we have, some money in the bank, we can invest in the types of people and resources that we need to grow. And, additionally, the other big catalyst was that we had a lot of really happy customers based in New York who said, hey, this product really works for us. We also have buildings and properties in other cities, and we want to roll you out there. And naturally, the eager entrepreneur is like, of course, okay. And then you realize, well, in order to actually scale this thing thoughtfully in the right way, we need to have more sales folks, we need to have more client success people, we need to have more engineers. And then when you really think about it, it's like, okay, well, having more resources, having more infrastructure is a good thing. Let's be thoughtful. And it made sense for us to go out and raise the round we did.
Okay, so after New York, where are you going to go next?
Chicago.
Tell us, yep.
Chicago, so we're already there, rocking and rolling, and things are going well. We're also eyeing Boston, DC, and Philly. And then we're experimenting with a couple of other markets later this year because we're starting to get some bites there, so we're answering those calls.
Do you think that you might go outside of the US
anytime
soon?
Anytime soon. I want to be cautious about that because
Sure.
I don't want to grow too fast. Additionally, best thing about the industry we're tackling, multifamily, in like the multifamily space in real estate, is that it's very dense. So it's really consolidated across top 25, 30 markets in the US. So we really want to focus on getting that right. But certainly I have the desire to expand internationally, for sure.
Awesome. Caren, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jon.